Have you ever noticed how many older folks quietly pass away before turning 80 or 81, even though they looked healthy not so long ago? It's not usually heart trouble, cancer, or some big accident that takes them. No, it's something much more hidden, and sadly, it's often overlooked. My name is Dr. Tom, and I'm a men's health expert who spent more than 3 decades supporting seniors to not just live longer, but to fill those years with real life and joy. Decades of working in clinics, caring for thousands of people, and digging through years of study have shown me some important patterns that most doctors simply don't see. What if I told you that one of the best clues to living well after your late 50s isn't your numbers from blood work, your heart's health, or even how much you exercise? Instead, it's buried in something we rarely discuss, and many have sadly let go of over time, often from shame, uncertainty, or fear. Today, I want to share with you a little-known secret to staying lively, independent, and sharp, even as you pass into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. And the best part? You won't need pricey pills, tough workouts, or strict diets. You already have what you need. All it takes is a gentle return to something you may have forgotten. Stay with me, because in a few minutes, I'll show you the simple but powerful steps you can start right away to bring back your energy. I truly believe that what you hear last could change the way you see growing older forever. Before we go on, if you haven't done so yet, feel free to subscribe and click the bell icon. That way you won't miss any health guidance meant to help you stay strong, free, and bright. If you find this helpful, just type the number 1 in the comments. And if you have ideas for how we can do better, type ZO. Your thoughts make it possible for us to serve you best. Now that you sense how important this hidden part of your well-being is, let's begin by bringing into the light one of the most quiet but harmful threats facing people as they age. A silent problem that pulls away your spark, weakens the body, and shortens your days long before you realize it's happening. The quiet crisis. Losing touch with physical joy. As I sit beside folks in their 70s and 80s, I sometimes see a quiet sort of loneliness behind their smiles, as if life has gotten smaller and colder. Over the years, I've learned to spot one of the most sneaky and damaging changes that comes with age, a slow drift apart from your own body and from the feeling of physical joy that once made you feel so alive. Most seniors don't talk about this openly, but it's happening all around us. It quietly steals energy from men and women alike, and many don't even notice. Somewhere along the way, society sent us a message, a whisper that says touch, closeness, and personal pleasure belong only to younger people. That after a certain age, you ought to quietly close that part of yourself off. Many elders start to believe that enjoying physical comfort is wrong, embarrassing, or simply not possible anymore. Some let go because of changes in their bodies, others from lost love or tough memories, and still others simply don't know that it's not just possible, but needed for deep health. What so many people don't realize is that losing this connection begins a quiet downhill slide. If you don't gently wake up those sensations, your circulation slows down in key areas. The nerves tied to joy start fading. The balance of your hormones gets thrown off. Little by little, your body grows less resilient, not just in intimacy, but in mind, feelings, and strength. Sleep grows restless, moods darken, energy slips away. As time goes by, even your body's defenses get weaker, and your chances of illnesses like memory loss or heart troubles begin to climb. I've seen it with my own eyes, countless times. Vibrant people losing their glow, not because their heart failed, but because the very strength inside was pushed aside. To be clear, closeness with yourself or with a loved one is one of the roots of full-bodied human life. Letting go of it from worry or confusion doesn't just take away pleasure, it quietly takes away years. But there is hope. Coming home to your body again, letting those quiet feelings wake up, this can be the start of deep healing. No matter your age, it's not too late to find out what you're still able to feel. In fact, it might just be the secret to more health, stronger memory, and a steadier spirit than you ever dreamed. But what really makes physical joy so powerful for your heart, your mind, and your ability to stay living on your own as you get older? Keep listening, because what comes next may open your eyes to aging in a way you've never imagined. If you're still with me, and this is making sense for you, I'd be grateful if you'd type one in the comments to show you're here on this walk with me. Now, let's keep going and look at the strong truth behind the next idea. Why self-pleasure matters after 60. For years, I watched as some of my patients kept their connection to their bodies as they grew older. Something became very clear. Holding on to physical pleasure, including time alone with yourself, is not a small luxury. It's a steady pillar that can help keep you healthy year after year. This may surprise you, especially if you were raised in a time when topics like this brought discomfort or shame. But the truth spoken by your body tells a different story. Once you turn 60, your body naturally faces changes. Your blood doesn't flow as strongly, your hormone levels shift, and you may notice less muscle and slower nerves. But regular self-pleasure actually fights many of these changes. When you explore your own body, even if you don't have a partner, something wonderful happens. Blood starts flowing to your brain, your heart, and your arms and legs, refreshing tissues that would otherwise slowly wither. Your body releases feel-good chemicals, helping to lower stress and improve sleep. Hormones like testosterone rise a bit, which supports strong muscles, solid bones, and helps you keep a steady mood. All central parts of aging well. What's even more fascinating? What this does for your mind. Scientists have found that physical pleasure lights up many parts of the brain at once, keeping nerves alive that play a part in memory, emotions, and clear thinking. Put simply, your brain feels young, open, and awake. I've seen those who are open to this stay sharper, more creative, and even keep a lighter step than those who quietly drift away from feeling physical pleasure. But there's something even deeper. Self-pleasure after 60 is a way of reminding yourself that your body is still worthy of care and kindness. It pushes back against that old, unhelpful belief that growing older means slipping away. It tells you firmly that you are still here, still alive, and able to enjoy life fully and deeply. Many who start to embrace this also begin to eat better, join in with friends, or feel more like moving and being active. When someone asks me if it's too late to bring this part of themselves back, I always answer kindly but firmly, it's never too late. Your body might need a gentler approach now and a bit more patience, but it still holds the ability for comfort and joy that can feed your spirit and lift your health far more than you might think. You may be wondering, if the benefits are this powerful, why do so many elders struggle to keep this important connection? The reason, sadly, lies in a few quiet and heartbreaking beliefs we've picked up. And that's what we'll look at next. Common misunderstandings that quietly take away seniors' spark. In all my years as a doctor, I've seen over and over how people with so much life and strength inside are slowly defeated by simple misunderstandings they may not even know they have. These aren't just small mix-ups. They can quietly convince you to give up on one of your greatest sources of joy and healing. One of the hardest beliefs is that, past a certain birthday, caring about or enjoying physical pleasure simply doesn't matter. I've lost count of how many times I've heard someone sigh, "I'm too old for that now," with a sad little smile. But the truth is, age doesn't take away your body's ability or its need for closeness and comfort. It may change what that looks like, but letting go of it is like living in a house and never turning on the light. You might make it day by day, but you'll miss out on brightness and warmth. Another painful belief is that finding pleasure alone is something to be ashamed of. So many grew up in times when such things were never spoken of or seen as wrong. That shame can stick in your heart all the way into your 70s and 80s. But let me say, with care, taking care of your own needs is never wrong. In truth, it's a way to honor your life, your health, and your spirit. Some think that if you save up energy by not being sexual, it will make you stronger. But it's actually the other way around. Keeping this part of yourself alive, even by yourself, keeps your body healthy. Hormones stay strong, blood keeps moving, and tissues stay fresh. If you ignore it, just like a muscle that isn't used, it grows weak. Maybe the most harmful belief of all is the idea that caring for your sexual side is separate from looking after your health. In fact, they're deeply connected, each helping the other. When you support one side, the other side grows too. When you ignore one, both slowly fade. Knowing about these misunderstandings is step one. Step two is finding a way to gently rebuild your connection with your body, in ways that feel safe and in step with where you are now. That's exactly what I want to show you next. If you're still listening and learning, just type 1 in the comments. It's always good to know you're walking alongside me. So let's move forward and see what's waiting in our fourth step. A gentle path, restoring vitality, one step at a time. When I started helping older adults reawaken their bodies, I noticed most people didn't just need a pat on the back. They needed a real, simple path to follow. That's how I created what I call the restoration method. It's a straightforward approach designed just for people in their later years. It respects the changes that come with age and helps rekindle the bond between your mind and your body. Step 1 is simple. Get ready. Before you begin, make a space where you feel relaxed, safe, and unlikely to be interrupted. Set the room to a nice temperature, pick a cozy chair or spot on your bed, and use a trusted skin-safe lotion. These small choices quietly tell your body, you matter, your care is important. Next is relaxing, and there's no point rushing. Take a few deep, slow breaths. Let your muscles loosen. Notice your heartbeat steady. Feel the worries and stress drift away one by one, like leaves floating down a river. Just paying calm attention to yourself like this can open up new doors to feeling. After you're relaxed, you move to exploring. Gently touch areas you may have ignored for a long while, maybe your thighs, your belly, your torso. Touch with curiosity, not judgment. Notice what feels good. Even if the response is small, it's a sign your body is still filled with life and eager to connect. After that, you can explore focused sensation. No pressure, no rush. Slowly begin to touch yourself in a way that feels good, allowing interest and pleasure to build at its own pace. When you move slowly and mindfully, you might notice feelings you haven't felt in years. There's no finish line here. What matters is the journey. Finally, take a moment of gratitude. Pause for a deep breath and appreciate that you made time for yourself today. Whether your feelings are strong or gentle, allow yourself to take them in. This quiet thank you plants the first seeds of lasting healing. Remember, you're not trying to go back to who you were, but to welcome who you are now, with all the wisdom and kindness your years have brought. Once you feel even the smallest spark of reconnection, you'll realize how much strength is still inside. But even with the right tools, the road is rarely easy or direct. There are some pitfalls that can get in your way. And next, I'll help you avoid the common mistakes that can quietly stop your progress so you can keep moving forward. Facing hurdles. What's normal and how to keep going. Every time I walk someone through the restoration method, I remind them, real change isn't just a straight path. There can be moments of doubt, discouragement, or frustration. I see it happen often, not because people don't care, but because they fall into quiet traps that make the journey harder than it needs to be. Knowing what's ahead and how to meet it could be the turning point for your health and happiness. One of the biggest hurdles is thinking things will go back to how they were in your 20s. When that doesn't happen, it's easy to feel sad. But remember, your body has changed, and that's all right. Success now isn't measured by big highs, but by how much comfort, trust, and gentle feeling you can allow. Even small steps are signs of healing underneath the surface. Another challenge is being inconsistent, like building up your strength or stretching. Finding comfort with your body is something that needs regular care. If you only try it once in a while, it's like giving a flower water just once a month and hoping it blooms. Try to set aside time 2 or 3 times a week, not as a chore, but because you respect yourself. Your body will answer with steady, surprising kindness over time. There's also the thought that you need to achieve something every time or reach a certain end. But focusing too much on an outcome creates stress and locks up the very energy you want to release. Let go of the idea that every try must be just right. Notice and celebrate even gentle feelings. They are victories all their own, not to be compared to your past. Finally, old feelings of shame may creep in quietly. Many carry deep voices inside that whisper, "This isn't for me anymore," or "I should go without." If you hear that, meet it with kindness, not self-judgment. Seeking joy and comfort isn't wrong. It's a beautiful way to honor the body and life you still have. Getting past these stumbling blocks is not always simple, but each try and every gentle moment will rebuild not just your sense of pleasure, but your whole spirit and strength. And as you regain confidence, you might find you're ready for something even more meaningful, a complete renewal of your health and energy, following a calm, steady approach, made just for this part of your life. Stay tuned, because what I'm about to share might be the change you've needed most. Reclaim what is yours. Choose to thrive. As we finish this journey together, let me leave you with this truth. Your body, your well-being, and your right to joy do not disappear with age. They may shift and grow, but they do not vanish. Rediscovering this part of yourself is not about holding on to your younger years. It's about honoring the deep life, strength, and spirit you still hold. I have watched men and women in their early 60s, 70s, and even late 80s find that spark they thought had gone for good, and through it, they found new health, self-trust, and happiness. You deserve this too. It all begins with one new belief, that you, right now, are still able, still worthy, still living, in every sense that matters. Move gently. Go slow. Treat yourself with all the kindness you have. Remember, every step back toward knowing and caring for your body is a step closer to filling not just your years, but every day, with true and lasting life. Your story is still unfolding. Choose today to write it with strength, honor, and the fullness of life you were always meant to enjoy.